It started as a harmless experiment on dogs, but someone realized this could control people. Now it's everywhere, from your phone to your fridge. And the worst part, you don't even notice it happening. In the early 1900s, Russian scientist Ivan Pavlov was studying digestion when he stumbled onto something far stranger. Dogs were salivating before food arrived, just by seeing the lab assistant. So Pavlov tried something radical. He rang a bell right before feeding them. After a few repetitions, he rang the bell alone, no food, and the dog still drooled. That was the birth of classical conditioning. It meant you could train the brain to react, not with logic, but with reflex. A sound, a light, a logo could trigger desire, hunger, excitement, even addiction. What Pavlov didn't know was that decades later, this technique would be weaponized, not in labs, but in ads, apps, stores, and screens. Because humans are still drooling, we're just doing it for different bells. And around the 50-word mark, here's the disturbing truth. Marketers now use a 3-step version of Pavlov's method to manipulate your cravings and your choices without asking for permission. Step 1, pair emotion with brand. The bell meant food. Now, a color, jingle, or smell means happiness. You're not just watching a commercial, you're being trained to associate joy with their product. Later, you pass the logo. Your brain lights up. You want it, not because you're hungry, but because you've been conditioned. Step 2, deliver unpredictable rewards. You pull to refresh, scroll, tap. Sometimes there's a like, a message, a flash of approval. Sometimes, nothing. That randomness? It's not a bug, it's a dopamine trap. Social media platforms use intermittent rewards, just like casino slots, to keep you coming back. Pavlov's bell became your phone's buzz. Step 3, create unconscious triggers. Think of the smell of popcorn in a theater, the ta-dum sound before a streaming show, the crunch of a chip bag, all tiny cues. That set off cravings before your brain catches up. That's not memory, that's a conditioned response. The loop is simple. Cue to craving, to reward, to repeat. And over time, you start reacting automatically. You crave without knowing why. You spend without thinking. You obey the bell, just like the dogs. But here's where the story shifts. You can interrupt the loop. You can spot the trigger, slow the craving, break the cycle. Because the moment you recognize the system, you're no longer a subject. You're the scientist. And no one rings the bell unless you say so. Subscribe for more content like this.